This is Risa Levine.
Risa Levine.
Risa Levine.
Risa
has been an advocate fighting for insurance companies to cover IVF treatments.
This bill provides for enormous consent, awareness, patient education, patient disclosure, patient protections.
By talking about infertility and telling our stories, we will see change.
I got a phone call from a person who works on Capitol Hill, and this person said, "Barb, you have got to meet this woman." Turns out she was single-handedly going all over Capitol Hill, advocating for our issues, and I didn't know her, she didn't know us.
One day I got a phone call from Barb Kalura saying, "We understand that you've been advocating on our issues. Would you like to join forces with us?" And that's how I got involved with Resolve.
I met Risa 15 years ago. I wanted to help out and raise money for women to run for office, and she was the head of the Women's Leadership Conference for the DNC. I was just a 22-year-old kid. She could have dismissed me, she didn't have to take the meeting, and instead we started to work together. We threw a great event that year, and we just stayed in touch ever since, and I count her as a close friend and a tremendous ally in the fight for women's rights.
I have known Risa my entire life. Being lucky enough to have Risa as a friend and mentor has been nothing less than motivational. She's made me want to fight for what I believe in and is teaching me what it means to do public service.
Risa has been one of my staunchest supporters and most active volunteers from the very beginning. I began hearing directly from her about her own issues concerning infertility. And I was always so struck by her openness and candor, but also her understanding that what she was talking to me about and others was not just about her, it was about everyone in her position. If you didn't have citizen advocates, I would argue you wouldn't have a democracy. I think it's not complicated, and for people who care deeply about an issue, have expertise in an issue like Risa does, this is a necessary role to play in our society. But in order to be successful when you're a citizen advocate, you have to be persistent. You cannot take no for an answer. Risa understood that. It was like in her DNA.
Resolve had an advocacy day for a number of years.
Question over here. Go ahead.
And she got involved in our advocacy day and I said, "Why don't you be the chair? We've never had a chair before. I don't know what a chair does. Why don't you be the chair?" She painted a picture that I didn't know if we could live up to because her vision was so big. Of course, this year, 2019, we had about 250 people at our advocacy day. One of the things that Risa said is, we have to train people. So we started doing training before they came to Washington, which we had never done before. She really saw that we had to get a lot of fundamentals in place for us to really grow and to be the voice on Capitol Hill that she saw us to be.
I chaired Advocacy Day 5 times. My feeling is that you don't sit in the same role for too long. It was time to bring a new energy and a new direction and new ideas. And your organization doesn't grow if you don't mentor each other. And it continues to grow with new and different people every single year.
She started inspiring all these other people to come back year after year. And then people wanted to get involved and they wanted to volunteer. And they wanted to help in their state. And I'm finding out that Risa's connecting with them offline and she's calling them and she's encouraging them.
Risa's had such an impact on me, the ways that she's helped me and mentored me to continue my advocacy and hope that one day I can have that kind of impact on other people.
Okay, this is Risa Levine. I'm calling to speak to the legislative assistant who is handling women's health care issues.
She set out to make this situation so much better and to make access better. And I don't think, honestly, she's going to rest until it's done.
How to stay motivated is a question I ask myself every single day. But I also still cry over the fact of not having children. So if it still hurts, then we haven't solved the problem for other people.
She talks about both her wins and her losses, which makes it feel very real that, not everything is going to go our way, but we have to keep trying and we have to keep communicating about what we need as a community. And she just doesn't stop, and she does it in 6-inch heels on marble floors and, day after day. And her fortitude is incredibly inspiring.
We started doing advocacy work in New York State. She was instrumental in helping us determine our strategy, using her contacts and her resources to help advocate.
When I became secretary of the governor, Risa came and sat down with me. She said, I know that you're focused on women's issues and the Council on Women and Girls, and fertility is something that we really need to focus on. It confronts women of all ages, of all socioeconomic and ethnic backgrounds, and it's something that people don't pay enough attention to. The more I dug into it, the more I realized how right she was. She really is the reason that I got so passionate about the issue, and I was so proud last year when we were able to make the changes that we were able to make successfully in the budget.
Her drive forward is to make it a better future, and so that's what I try to carry with me when I'm advocating.
Change only happens when those needing rights stand up and demand them.
We have a new award. It's the Resolve Advocacy Legacy Award in honor of Risa A. Levine.
For an award to be named for her, and especially a legacy award, is especially fitting because, very frankly, it is her legacy. I don't personally know of anybody else in the country who has done more on these issues over a sustained period of time.
Risa, I am so grateful for who you are, for your long-standing history of standing up for justice. I am inspired by you. You are a light worker.
And it's an award to recognize and honor people who have made a real difference, both at the state level and federal level, but more importantly, who have mentored and trained others in how to advocate and to get involved in our cause.
Those individuals who choose to use what they already know, both within Resolve and outside of Resolve, to help others, that's who's going to be getting this award.
We need people who inspire and mentor others. We need people who are going to stick around and they're going to help train the next group. Risa's great at editing a document, and she can look at something at middle of the night and respond, but her connecting with people and connecting with our community and inspiring people to come back year after year, that's made the difference. That's made all the difference.